A monster? Where? That could have gone better.
At first glance, The Cat in the Hat might seem like a wacky, over-the-top movie with a giant talking cat and a lot of mess. But if we look a little closer, there's a lot more happening underneath all that craziness. What if I told you that behind the cat's wild antics is a story about freedom, control, and the fine line between fun and responsibility?
I knew that milk would come back to haunt me.
Help! Help!
The cat, he's not here just to cause trouble. Well, not only that. He's a symbol of chaos, creativity, and breaking free from the rigid world of rules. And then there's the adults, controlling, absent, or just totally self-absorbed. This movie doesn't just show us what happens when chaos enters a structured world. It also asks us to think about authority, and how the people in charge don't always get it right.
Really?
Who are they?
Magical time-traveling elves. Yeah, magic. Okay, they're my lawyers.
In today's video, we'll explore how the Cat in the Hat uses chaos as a tool to question control, rebellion, and growing up. So let's dig into the colourful mess and see what lessons this mischievous cat has to offer.
Step out of my way.
This is The Cat in the Hat, a hidden masterpiece. The movie opens in a world of strict rules and structure. The house is spotless, the kids are told to behave, and everything is under control. But there's an underlying tension here. This is a world of authority.
I beg your pardon?
Fired.
But I...
Where fun is limited and creativity is stifled. Their mum, while loving, represents a kind of distant authority, working, absent, and leaving behind strict instructions. And in her absence, who's left in charge? A sleeping babysitter. It's a setup that practically begs for a giant human-like cat.
What was that? I don't know. Looked like a humongous cat.
Humongous? I prefer the term big bone to jolly.
Now, what are we hiding from?
The cat represents freedom and rebellion in its purest form. From the moment he steps in, he disrupts everything. He's loud, unpredictable, and he refuses to follow the rules of the house or society. And yet, there's something magnetic about him. He challenges the rigid world that kids are trapped in and shows them life beyond the structure, one full of imagination and play.
There was this cat I knew back home where I was bred. He never listened to a single thing his mother said. He never used a litter box, he made a mess in the house. That's why they sent him to a vet to cut up both his boobs.
But what's important here is that the cat isn't just chaos for chaos' sake. He's a reflection of what happens when the rules are too tight and creativity is stifled. In a way, the cat's antics symbolise the unexpressed creativity and the desire for fun that both Sally and Conrad are holding back. The cat is the spark that sets that all free.
Whoa.
Tap it.
Listen, kid. You can tap it with a hammer. It ain't gonna change.
Let's look at Conrad. Throughout the movie, he's branded as a troublemaker, constantly getting into mischief. But Conrad's rebelliousness is really just a sign of something deeper. He's pushing against the boundaries that are set for him, trying to find a way to express himself in a world that feels too controlled.
What about the couch?
Which couch? The clean one or the horribly stained one?
The chaos that follows isn't just random, it's a lesson about letting go, but also about the understanding of consequences of doing so. This is where the cat's character gets interesting. He does bring fun and creativity, but also as things spiral out of control, we start to see the darker side of unchecked freedom.
Good riddance. Now, this may not be the time for I told you so, but... Like I said, not the time.
Without responsibility, chaos can become dangerous. The cat pushes the kids to their limits, showing them what can happen when you throw out all the rules. And in this moment, we're reminded that freedom, while necessary, needs to be balanced with accountability.
Bet you thought I'd gone. Bet you felt a sting. Bet you never thought I'd have another.
And in the end, the cat doesn't just leave them in chaos. He cleans up, restoring order and showing that while creativity and fun are important, there's also time for structure and responsibility. The message here is clear. Life is about balance. Too much control can stifle, but too much chaos can destroy.
Sally, baby, angel, princess,
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret, okay?
Nobody likes a suck-up!
Now, let's talk about Larry Quinn. In a movie filled with wild chaos, you'd think that the cat's the main antagonist, right? But in reality, it's Larry who represents a true threat. And it's not just his slimy attitude, he symbolises something deeper, false authority and control for selfish reasons. And while he acts like he is, Larry isn't there to protect or nurture the kids, he's there to manipulate the situation for his own gain. While the cat's chaos is born of a place of freedom and creativity, Larry's version of control is stifling, self-serving and frankly hypocritical. He's constantly trying to impose his own rules, but it's all part of his plan to take advantage of the kid's mum, Joan, and move in with her.
Excuse me, sir. I'd like you to sign my petition. Yeah.
Get out of my way, you hippie freak.
Where the cat's unpredictability forces the kids to think for themselves, Larry's strictness tries to rob them of their agency entirely. He's the kind of authority that exists not to protect or guide, but to dominate and manipulate. In that sense, Larry is the true villain of the story, representing the danger of control when it's used for personal gain, rather than the well-being of others.
Not so fast, you little maggots. Oh, you are so busted. Now get inside.
Trust me, you don't want to go in there. You want to be...
Of course, Larry's downfall comes when his obsession with control meets the chaotic world of the cat. He's so fixated on enforcing his rules and securing the position that he fails to recognise how hollow and fragile his authority really is.
That'd be me.
And in true storybook fashion, Larry's attempt to control everything crumbles, exposing him for what he really is, a fraud. It's a reminder that authority without genuine care or understanding is bound to fail.
They happened to me. Your demonic children. They destroyed your house? The house was alive. The wall was made of paper. I fell off the cliff. And the giant cat! The giant cat!
And this brings us back to the cat, our chaotic yet oddly responsible figure. In contrast to Larry, the cat's authority isn't about rules or control, it's about balance. He shows the kids that life doesn't have to be one or the other. You can have fun, break a few rules, and still learn how to fix things when they go wrong. It's not about avoiding mistakes, it's about owning them and learning from them.
Looks like everything's in balance.
By the end, Conrad and Sally aren't just sitting on the sidelines anymore. They've learned to take action, to clean up the mess. Not just literally, but on a deeper sense. They've discovered the importance of taking responsibility for their own actions, while still keeping a sense of fun and freedom alive.
There is a third option.
There is?
Yes, it involves murder.
That's your option?
No, but you guys both had options.
And in that final moment, as the cat walks out of their lives, the message becomes clear. A little chaos is necessary. It shakes things up, teaches valuable lessons, and sometimes reveals more about the world than following the rules ever could. So as their mum walks back through the door, none the wiser about what just unfolded. The kids aren't the same anymore. They've gone through chaos and come out the other side with a new understanding. Not just of fun and responsibility, but of how to navigate a world that doesn't always make sense.
Dirty hoe. I'm sorry, baby. I love you.
Come on, cat!
At its core, The Cat in the Hat isn't just a colourful children's movie about wild antics and slapstick humour. It's a story about finding balance in a world where freedom and control constantly collide. Through a lens of childhood, we see how chaos and creativity can lead to growth, while rigid authority can stifle at the very spirit that allows us to evolve. The cat, with all its unpredictability, reminds us that life isn't meant to be lived strictly by the rules. Mistakes, messes, and mischief are a part of growing up, but so is learning to take responsibility for the chaos we create. In the same way that Conrad and Sally step up to restore order, we too must learn when to embrace freedom and when to take ownership of the consequences.
Go!
Come on, cat!
I'm walking here!
And then there's Larry, the embodiment of control for all the wrong reasons. His downfall is a reminder that authority without empathy is destined to fail. Real growth, real maturity comes from not forcing control, but from the understanding of balance between rules and rebellion. between order and creativity.
Delicious cupcakes are just minutes away.
Did you just say minutes away? That's impossible!
You're not just wrong, you're stupid.
Now wait just a minute.
And you're ugly, just like your mum.
Did you just call my mother ugly?
Shut up! I mean it. I will end you.
In the end, the cat may leave, but the lessons he brings stays with us. He shows us that chaos isn't something to fear, it's something to learn from. Without it, there's no growth, no imagination, and no joy. While we all need structure in our lives, true freedom lies in knowing when to break the rules and when to fix what has been broken.
Okay, Section 8, Article 93, subparagraph 834, right by the jelly's name. It reads, if Conrad, aka Concrete, should open the crate, and we know he will, the contract shall be null and void. However, if Sally and Conrad should learn from their mistakes, the contract shall be reinstated. And I think you two have satisfied the legal burden of learning.
So what does the Cat in the Hat really teach us? It's that life is messy. That growing up means both embracing freedom and responsibility, and that sometimes we need a little chaos to show us the way forward. It's in that balance that we find not only ourselves, but the creativity and wisdom to face the world beyond the rules. If you're still here, thanks for making it to the end of the video. Be sure to subscribe and leave a like if you enjoyed. Drop a comment down below of any other films you want to hear me talk about.